Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another video, and it's a cool, exciting Easter egg that the devs from Infinity Ward have put in Season 5. And it's very similar in a way to Easter eggs that they've done in previous seasons. But I won't go over those because they're not really involved in the whole Call of Duty lore. But this one is. This one obviously is going to have to do with, or has to do with uh, Infinite Warfare Zombies and Infinite Warfare itself. I'm hoping, cross my fingers, praying that it's gonna continue to Black Ops 5, and I think it might. Hinting towards that, maybe what we're gonna get for the Zombies DLCs in Black Ops 5, maybe linking the two studios together. So, like I mentioned, Season 5 dropped a couple days ago on August 5th, and it's funny because when a couple days ago when it first dropped, I'm like, why aren't they doing a lot of like Black Ops 5 hint hint like in season 5 that gets released on August 5th? But it looks like they went ahead and did. They just aren't making it obvious. There's subtle little hints. So as you can see, if you buy the battle pass for like $10, you get a bunch of items. And this is pretty much just going to do with Willard Wyler, this Easter egg, Infinite Warfare Zombies, maybe connecting to Kino de Toten. It already connects, but it maybe hopefully it's going to be more obvious and intertwine a little bit better, give more answers that people are looking for. And I wonder if that's what Lee Ross had planned on before he left Treyarch. But anyways, like I said, Season 5 just dropped. It has to do with Infinite Warfare Zombies. It's a Willard Wyler Easter egg, stuff that people are not going to pick up on. And Treyarch have always done this, like I mentioned in the past. They've done Easter eggs like this, more visual Easter eggs that it's tougher for people to solve or notice, because it kind of has to do with like your IQ score, believe it or not. Because when you take an IQ test or you go online, they show you a bunch of symbols, maybe pictures, and you have to try and figure out how it all connects together. People with higher IQs are going to be able to piece everything together a lot faster and easier than people that don't have high IQs or higher than normal IQs, let's say, because they're kind of like, how do you piece this? What's the next pattern? Do they give patterns? And how does it all connect? What does it all mean? And stuff like that. Don't be mad at me. I'm not the one who invented IQ tests, but uh, that's how they do it. So, as I mentioned, Willard Wyler, and it funny enough doesn't say it here because this might have been like a pre before they figured his name. But his name is the Projectionist, his actual name, without Willard Wyler. Maybe they said, hey, okay, it's going to be revolving or involve, and I'm talking about Infinite Warfare Zombies. It's going to involve a projectionist that owns a movie theater, and he's going to hire actors and torture them or whatever. And I'm going to go over how it links to Kino, just in case people haven't solved that or figured that out yet. And like I said many times, and the devs have said it, Blundell have said it, maybe even Jimmy has said it, like, people just don't go searching for Easter eggs. Go searching for Easter eggs and answers, actually. Some people just want answers, and so Jimmy used to always say, like, don't ask him for answers because he's not going to give you answers. You have to go find it. The Easter egg isn't the thrilling part; it's finding it and looking for it, which it is. So as you can see, his name was the Projectionist, and if you go to Nintendo Wii's version of Kino der Toten and Black Ops 1, on the wall, and it does say it on the other ones, but this one is a cleaner saying, maybe before they decide they're going to be so cryptic. The Nintendo Wii version says it the most obvious and clear. It says Junior or JR Projectionist. So I'm hoping maybe it's going to be, or maybe somehow Infinite Warfare is going to turn out to be, even though it probably takes more in the future, but I'm not sure. Or just maybe another dimension. Uh, take take place before Kino der Toten, and it all intertwines because a lot of the stuff that the devs, either from Infinite Warfare or Treyarch Black Ops, do, it's cleverly done with super cryptic hidden meaning, like two or three different meanings, or innuendos. I don't know if that's the right word, but so everything they do, they kind of hide all these hidden meanings. And when Monty said the ether, the infinite, I think that's how, like, Monty might actually be, you know, Mephistopheles or whatever his name is, and the whole Faust and the posters and stuff like that. So this is how it all intertwines. So as you can see, his name was a projectionist. Maybe this hinted at, there was going to be an evil projectionist that ran Kino in the Afterlife movie theater. That's maybe something they were planning down the road. And I have a gut feeling, and I'm going to stick to it, that somehow Infinite Warfare should have been, or maybe was planned to be, Black Ops 4, maybe the story and stuff like that. And that's why, like, Black Ops 4 people don't like. I think maybe Vandahar, maybe even Blundell, maybe got painted into a corner somehow. And they were just kind of maybe just said, hey, we're just going to make a quick prequel to Black Ops 3. And that's why I think Black Ops 4 would have been, Infinite Warfare would have been the better Black Ops 4. Um, or they just kind of like they started, and I think this is more the answer. They started intertwining all the studios together. It's something that I made a video about. That everything is going to intertwine together, all the studios and stuff like that. So it wouldn't surprise me. So, anyways, that's kind of like where I'm heading at. And really quickly again, just in case people are unaware, William Wyler is the original person that Willard Wyler is based off of. As in Kino, he was a German director, made movies and stuff like that. So that's where also the posters in Kino kind of hit. Faust is Infinite Warfare zombies and stuff like that. There is another poster. I made another video about that, and I'll link it if you want to check it out. How there was other posters that the other posters in Kino hinted to other maps in other Black Ops and stuff like that. But those were like kind of unsolved because, like I said, again, they're visual Easter eggs that people don't look for anymore. They don't look for answers, or they're tougher to figure out than just data mining or doing activation buttons, stuff like that. So this is where the whole Easter egg comes into play. The entire season 5 looks like it's based around movies, cult classic movies, a cult classic, or like they're maybe low budget. Didn't make a lot of money in the box office, but a lot of people love it. And you're going to see that the Battle Pass kind of goes through a lot of those movies. I didn't pick every single item because there's 100 items in the Battle Pass, and literally every item could be hinting at a movie, a cult classic movie. So that's just kind of where I started noticing answers. And I'm going to use my mouse, hopefully, or not. If you look where it says on the left, buy 55 tiers. If you max prestige, you get that emblem. I don't know if I don't want to touch my mouse because I've been having so much recording issues. But I'm going to wait for a second. Where you see where the gun is pointing at, that's not really like Easter egg, I don't think. But the gun is pointing towards buy 55 tiers. The pass resets in 52 days. That emblem is an Easter egg in itself. Maybe the 5, and I said this a couple days. I actually said it to Glitching Queen. I said, why aren't they putting a lot of Black Ops Easter eggs in there? It's the perfect situation. It's season 5. Black Ops 5 is Black Ops. It's the 5th Black Ops. It comes out on August 5th. So maybe they are. Maybe I was just jumping the gun, and it is going to all hint towards Black Ops 5. So that emblem, it's the shape of a hexagon, I believe. If you look, and that's, if you don't know, if you look at the Infinite Warfare Zombies movie reel or any movie reel, it's the same exact shape. So that in itself is an Easter egg. And I kind of literally just found it, realized it before I started recording. It's the same exact shape. It's the shape of a movie reel. The 5 is a pentagon. Maybe somehow the whole Cold War pentagon, you know, JFK and assassination, all that stuff. The numbers Mason, all that. It's gonna probably link to the Pentagon, so that's the number 5 for maybe for Black Ops 5, the Pentagon, Cold War, and the movie reel. It's maybe gonna be a movie theme for this season, maybe Black Ops 5 altogether. So if you can see back and forth, it's the same exact shape. I'm saying it's a hexagon. Hopefully, no, an octagon, right? It's an 8-sided. Oh my god, I'm so bad. It's an 8-sided shape, and the movie reel, so it's 3, 6, 7, 8. It's an octagon. So the movie reels, So back in the day, if you guys don't know this, movie reels came in these cases, and they would deliver them to the movie theater. You would The movie theater paid a lot of money to rent the movies, and they would watch it and stuff like that. So you can kind of search that on your own. So here's the first clue Easter egg that I noticed that made me kind of go down this path. The max prestige weapon that you get if you finish the season at rank 155. It's called Dawn Till Dusk, so I believe that's a play on From Dusk Till Dawn. Like I said, these, keep in mind, again, really quickly, I'll go back. These are cult classic movies, and this is a Quentin Tarantino movie. They might have not made a lot of money. They're not huge blockbuster, Marvel movies and stuff like that back in the day. They didn't make billions of dollars, but a lot of people love them. They were like great movies and stuff like that. And incidentally, Quentin Tarantino is intertwining a lot of his movies together, which I love. That it looks like it's the way Activision Call of Duty is going, where like instead of having all the studios compete against each other, just cross it over and make it fun and interesting. They started doing that already with Treyarch and Infinite Warfare, so this isn't really anything new. Like I just said again, people just aren't going looking for answers. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go through this really quick. I'm just gonna show the solves. I'm not gonna go through every single movie, but the call is the tier 4 item that you get, and that is for the call, the movie. And these could also be like the dev's favorite movies and stuff like that. So next one is the gallows, and some of these are gonna obviously start sounding very familiar to some of you guys. You're like, oh, because this is one of them. I'm like, oh, when I solve this and I start figuring it out, I'm like, oh, I know that movie. It's kind of like a B movie slash cult classic. I didn't see a lot of these movies that are on here, and I'm now more inclined to go see them. And I say this to Lee Ross. I'm like, Lee Ross, he's not with Activision anymore, but you need to do like a podcast for movies. I love talking about movies. I love figuring out all the movie references in Black Ops and stuff like that. Uh, and it's something that I guess Jimmy started back in the day in the original devs and stuff like that. Anyways, the Gallows is that one. That's a movie poster. The Catacombs, and the Catacombs is this movie. Which, funny enough, that's not Black Ops 4 9 is based in the Catacombs of Paris. Funny enough. Tarpon was a strange one because I'm like, when I saw this, I'm like, that's such an odd, strange name. There has to be some weird, minuscule, obscure type movie that's called Tarpon. Of course, there is like a fishing movie about maybe one of the devs loves fishing and he loves fishing movies. But there is actually one called Tarpon. Bad Company, I thought maybe, I'm like, oh, maybe Battlefield or something, but there's a movie called Bad Company. Maybe the devs are a big fan of Chris Rock. And I can't figure out the other guy's name from Silence of the Lambs. Um, but it'll come to me. So, anyways, Bad Company is this one, I'm assuming. Black Cat. This is an interesting one because Black Cat is an old movie, and I picked this one for two reasons. Because there might have been other movies called Black Cat, but I picked this one because Bela Lugosi made the first zombies movie. It's called White Zombie back in, like, I think maybe the 20s or something like that. And it says Edgar Allan Poe. So there must be a poem called The Black Cat by Edgar Allan Poe, and the Raven is a big theme in season 5 also. There's a lot of ravens and stuff like that, or characters. Operators, actually, called The Black Cat. Black Tie Affair, I didn't find anything for this. I mean, I did find it, but it was a TV series, so I don't know if there's a movie that I just didn't find. But I don't have a poster for that one. The Veil is the last one I'm going to reference, and don't think this is the last and only one in the Battle Pass. I just didn't go through every single 100 tiers and find the movies just for time and stuff like that. I just want to get this out there so people know. So it's called The Veil, and that one looks like it's some type of horror movie. And I'll have to go back and watch that one also. And here's a second post. I did two posters for this one because they look really cool. And that's pretty much it. But like I say, if you want to look at the other tiers yourself, search for the movies. It's a cool little Easter egg you can do on your own. Like I said, the biggest hint, I guess, is if you look at the Master Prestige emblem or Max Prestige emblem, it's the same movie reel from Infinite Warfare and stuff like that. Like I said, the whole thing looks like it's going to be focused on Willard Wyler movies and stuff like that, or just movies in general, cult classics. So I'll leave it at that. I'll see you guys later.